Could you start by looking forward, having won 6 straight, to close the non-conference portion of your schedule as you head into this league schedule?
Yeah, so we're certainly looking forward to it. I thought we played a good game against Bucknell. And as I said after the last game, I thought we've played pretty well in all of our games. I think we're improving defensively, and I think that's where our, we had some room for improvement, but I believe we're going to be a very, very good defensive team. So I think that's a really good sign for us. Something that we're going to continue to work on. For whatever reason, we seem to get incrementally better at that as we go. Maybe all around we do. We're just excited and looking forward to A10 conference play.
Do you remain confident that tomorrow's game will be played, or is there any doubt in your mind given the circumstances?
No, I'm confident. It sounds like, from everything that I've heard, that the game is a go.
Are all Spiders vaccinated? I mean, can we talk about that?
I don't know. What's the?
I don't know what the number is. So
are all Spiders the Richmond basketball Spiders?
Men's basketball players, yeah.
Yes.
Can you further say if many or all have been eligible for boosters and gotten them?
Many. Yes.
All right. And lastly, I promise, testing timetable. How does that work for a team that's been vaccinated?
I mean, it all depends. Everybody has a different, because every school has their own.
Spiders.
For ours, I don't think I'm at liberty to discuss that.
Mm-hmm. Will all Spiders be available to play against St. Joe's at this time?
Yes.
Could you envision what this 18-game schedule will look like? Would you think it would be looking a little bit more like last year's schedule turned out, or something different?
Yeah, I would really think something different. I'm optimistic, but also just the things that I see and read, and it seems like the ACC, for example, has a rule where you can test out of quarantine. So the NFL, I think. The NFL is making some rule changes, and I think their health director said that he didn't see any sign of asymptomatic spread, and the NBA is. So everybody seems to be moving in the direction of playing games or keeping things operating. That's my read on it. Now, wouldn't be the first time I'm wrong, John.
What can you pull, I guess, from the experiences you guys dealt with last year around COVID? Because you guys were hit hard, really hard, during the course of the year.
Yeah. I mean, in fairness to people who have, been really sick or, lost their lives, like COVID did not hit us hard. Mm-hmm. And by the end of the year, the vast majority of guys tested positive, and I think of that majority of the guys, some guys had symptoms for a day. So it did not hit us hard.
I guess
the policies hit us really hard.
Okay.
Yeah. And as a basketball team, that was extremely difficult. There was one game where we finished shoot around, which is about 4 hours before the game, and a game's canceled. We missed a week's worth of games on false positives, on 3 false positive tests. The season was suddenly shortened by the end of the year. So yeah, all the policies felt like they hit us specifically hard. So how can we learn from that? I don't. That's a great question. I think obviously you learn a little bit of resilience, because the things that you're so used to have happening, were changed or withdrawn or not there anymore. So I would say that would be the biggest thing. But there aren't many things. I mean, like 2 years ago when we're getting ready to play the conference tournament, when it all first started, there was nothing to learn from that. Mm-hmm. Nobody did anything wrong. Nobody did anything. So I don't know if there are many lessons to learn, except just hopefully a reserve of resiliency.
I asked Grant about, I guess, did the team themselves kind of have like tough conversations in regards to, hey, the policies kind of hit us hard. Can we take that next step and, become vaccinated and things of that nature? I would ask, did you kind of have conversations with the guys coming into the season before all of this, all of the spike in numbers went up about, hey, just think about it. Not saying you have to, but think about, I guess, the pros of getting it as opposed to not getting it.
Sure, yeah, and I know this is a really debatable issue, and it seems to me that besides Aaron Rodgers, everybody that's testing positive is vaccinated. So, I don't know what that means, but yes, we had conversations. But I would never. It wouldn't be in my nature to, even though I'm the head coach and they're the players, to coerce them to, besides go to class, and go back door. It wouldn't be in my nature to do that. But the conversations were very open. I think the more time you spend around young people, especially our guys, they're very open and willing to hear different opinions, and they all have extended family, and I'm sure there are members of their family who are very much think it's a no-brainer to get the vaccine. There are members of their family that think that might not be the best idea. So they're already experiencing that. And our conversations are very open and honest. But I wouldn't, there are measures put in place like the forfeit policy and whatnot that are probably designed to coerce everybody to act a certain way. And whether that's right or wrong, that's how all of this has transpired.
Coach Mooney, your super seniors, without exception, among their reasons for coming back was to experience a more normal year, not like last year. Yeah. I wonder if you could share your thoughts about their experience in this deal and how it seems to be hitting them again.
Well, again, I'm optimistic, and the things that I see and read and those kinds of things. But yeah, that's heartbreaking. Hopefully everything is as normal as possible. And, the crowds here have been great. The crowds on the road have been great. The experience in the Bahamas was, besides the basketball and everybody being sick, was great. And so, I want them to have the best of everything, of course. And so I do hope very much that they have all of those same experiences or all of those traditional experiences, especially guys who have put so much time and effort into our program. They're not taking their extra year at Richmond. They've been here the whole time and decided to be here again. So I really hope so much that everything turns out normally.
I was going to say, as you start conference play, where have you seen the most growth from your team since, first day of camp to
Sure. Yeah, great question. I would say, again, defensively, I think we're and again, we've incrementally gotten better and better, and maybe it's something we need to tweak in the preseason, but I would say defensively, and how many possessions would be graded as good defensive possessions, that growing consistency in that area, that we're having very good defensive possessions from picking up the ball in transition to getting a defensive rebound, and certainly some room to go in those departments. But I would say that there's been a steady improvement defensively.
We felt like we were right in both games, and it was extremely minor details and a couple plays that we really just didn't make or execute that sort of changed the direction of those games. And I think in this 6-game winning streak, we've made some of those plays. I think we've executed a lot better on offense. We haven't shot the ball great every game, but we're getting the shots that we want. Especially early in games, even when we're not making shots, every time down, I feel like we've been getting a good open shot, somebody in rhythm, a shot that they take every day. And offensively, we've really gotten what we wanted. And defensively, we've taken a lot of strides. I think we've played some good offensive teams in this stretch. We've played a variety of different teams in terms of their style of play, and we've done a good job adjusting, and we've done a great job in terms of improving on the defensive rebounding. We've made some jumps. I don't know where we're at, but I know we were floating around the top 100 there for defensive rebounds, so we need to try and make a jump and get into that top 75. and keep making strides in that area. But, we've done a lot of good things here recently, and we just need to keep it rolling.
You are among the seniors who chose to come back, and each of you fellows indicated that last year you just didn't feel right because of the COVID situation.
Mm-hmm.
That was part of the motivation to come back and try to put something whole together. In light of that, how about your reaction just to the latest turn of events in terms of COVID?
Yeah, it's certainly been tough. Just a tough situation for everybody. I think, obviously they weren't expecting to have these problems again this year. So I think they're a little messed up in terms of the protocols, and nobody really knows what to do in terms of how to handle it, how long people need to be in quarantine and so forth. And we've just had a serious surge here. So, I'm sure the higher ups will do their best job of trying to come up with what the right thing to do is to handle all of it in terms of what teams need to do individually. I'm sure the A10 will make the proper decision, and we just need to try our best to sort of work our way around that, do what we're supposed to, and stay healthy. Hopefully, I feel like we really got the short end of the stick compared to a lot of teams last year in terms of how many times we had COVID trouble. So maybe karma will come back around, and we'll have a good stretch this year. So hopefully everybody can stay healthy.
What can you take from the experience last year of dealing with the COVID and dealing with the pauses and make sure that, I guess, the lulls that you guys had at certain points in the year won't happen this time around?
Yeah. Obviously everything was just sort of a surprise last year. Nobody really knew how to handle it. So hopefully this year, going through it again, hopefully not as bad, we'll have a little bit better grasp of how to handle that, how to build people back, everything like that. So hopefully we'll be able to handle that a little bit better. And I think, now that people are vaccinated, and hopefully, that people aren't having as bad of symptoms because of that, that'll help as well. All our guys, obviously the vaccination hadn't been out, and we all had COVID during our last stretch there, and there were a lot of guys really struggling. So hopefully symptoms will be minor for us, and hopefully we can just really not have it as severely as we did last year, which will help in terms of getting back on the court and getting back to top shape when we do come out of pauses. Hopefully we're staying out of that, though.
Were those some of the, I guess, tough conversations you guys had amongst each other in regards to, this is what we dealt with last year because of this, if we can all become vaccinated, then, we won't have to deal with issues that we dealt with last year?
Yeah, I don't think we ever really personally had a conversation as a team of, I think we should all get vaccinated, or, that's sort of up to everybody and, their own individual decision. But I think that is what led a lot of people to end up getting vaccinated, just because, they feel like that's the best decision for themselves. And they feel like, that's just the best for the safety of everybody around us and how we're sort of going to be able to get through this season as safely as possible. And last year came to an abrupt end because of COVID, and we're hoping that because we took these precautions and people are getting vaccinated, that we won't have something like that happen again.
How about just a short form scouting report of St. Joseph's?
Yeah, really good team, really good players. Jordan Hall is outstanding, probably going to get drafted whenever he decides to move on from St. Joe's. Taylor Funk is probably one of the best shooters in the country. Eduque, their big man, has been playing great from them, transferring from Vanderbilt. So really, really good players, a lot to focus on the defensive end. So we got to make sure that we lock in today, get that scout down, and sort of the same as I said earlier, we just got to execute. We're going to get the shots that we want on offense, so we just got to execute, make sure that we're getting good shots, and they'll fall.